All right. What's up, Honolulu Blues listeners? This episode is sponsored by the app Autograph. Use the code GOLIONS, one word, when you sign up. The only app that scours all social media platforms to bring you all of your favorite team's content, keeping you as up to date with the Lions news as Dan Campbell himself. Autograph also has fee-free tickets. Yeah, you heard me. Stop buying $100 tickets with $300 worth of fees added on top. It's time we start to normalize not paying for fees on our tickets. Go to the app Autograph to get your fee-free ticket. Autograph's co-founder, Tom Brady, is also giving away a signed TB12 football. To get entries to win it, just go to Autograph and play in their Survivor Pool Weekly Challenge. Earn an entry for every week you correctly guess an NFL team that will win. If you lose one week, no biggie. Just come back next week and try again. Earn up to 18 entries, and maybe you will have a Tom Brady signed football at your house. Just download the app Autograph and use the code GOLIONS.
Oh, yeah, got my flag back. I got my flagger back.
How'd you get that flag back, bro?
Oh, this gigantic, bigger flag than both of yours.
Combined?
It might not be, I don't know, but it seems bigger than last time. It seems like it's got, I don't know, whatever stick my mom used. Shout out to my mom, just joining in. Yes, of course, she replaced it for me, so thank you, Mother.
It's about time, dude. That pumpkin was getting a little... Well, actually, you got a new pumpkin, so, I mean, I guess, I don't know.
But we have a great show today, and you know what, guys? I'm not going to talk about how the Tigers won 14-17, and just won today. I'm not going to talk about how they had the biggest crowd since September of 2015. Not talk about them. Not talk about how Jason Benetti just made one of the best calls ever, saying Spencer Torkelson just hit it to NASA. Look out! I don't know. I butchered it, but you guys know the quote. And I'm not going to mention that they're a team of dead sea right now. So we're strictly Lions. But man, oh man, that Tigers game was awesome today.
Yeah, no reason to talk about how amazing the Tigers have been and how good that we have 12 rookies on our team, and pretty much everyone out of our team is coming straight out of middle school, coming into the MLB and just lighting them up. No reason that we need to talk about the Tigers. Just two Tigers wins or Twins losses away from being in the playoffs. No, we don't need to talk about it now.
All right,
bro. A few more wins for the Tigers. This is gonna become a Tiger show, bro. And a few more wins.
This is crazy, bro. What if they win the World Series? Are we gonna have to? I mean, it's long shot, but
bro, if they make it to the ALCS, this is gonna be the navy blue and orange blues.
The orange and navy blues, dude. I love that. Also, if we make it to the ALCS, which would be an incredible run, I would have predicted that quite a bit ago.
That tweet, well, yes. I always think of that tweet where I'm like, oh, man, if this guy hits, whoo.
They called me Nick Stradamus before,
It's very true, very true. All right, we got a Lions show to talk about. And if you guys did not notice, I'm not just rocking my all black for the all black jerseys. I got some new ice, boys. You see that?
That's dirty.
My little brother got this for me. So for my birthday last week. And
straight out of the gumball vending machine, dude. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. I tell everyone he spent 3 stacks on it.
I like that, dude. I like that.
So, Lions are doing good. We have some injury news.
Breaking news!
Oh, yes. Not the best of news, but it seemed like everybody was getting hurt. It seemed like our pets' heads were falling off. It was just things went from bad to worse. Knew you'd love that quote, Nick.
Oh, we're adding that soundbite in, dude. I'm adding that soundbite in. We'll use it a couple more times.
That will be good. Frank Ragnow already been ruled out, torn pec. It makes sense. We're going into the bye week next week. If he's out this week, he'll have 2 weeks to get healthy, get ready for Dallas. We have some big games coming up, so we definitely need Frank back. Then Derek Barnes, Julius, your guys on IR. Are we concerned about the linebacker issues, or do you think, Jack Campbell is really starting to step into his own?
I like Jack Campbell and also like Malcolm Rodriguez. I really like our depth at the linebacker spot, so I'm not too worried yet. But you don't really want to lose Barnes. He was starting to really lock down at one of those starting Mike positions. So you don't want to lose him. But I mean, we're dealing with injuries. This is what every team in the NFL is dealing with right now. So gotta do what gotta do.
Yeah, we can't have.
I'm waiting on Jack Campbell pick 6, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Nick, not just Barnes, but your guys, you and Julius mainly, Davenport, going down for the season. This was like it was our biggest fear of Davenport came just true. And it's like, dang, if we knew this was going to happen, we didn't want it to happen.
Yeah, it's a bummer because we all foresaw it happening. So what happens when you have a general manager who came back from injury himself, so believes in every person who's ever gotten injured in their entire life? And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Davenport was helpful for the couple games he played with us, but he's out. Josh Paschal, James Houston time. I'm not devastated by the injury, but it does stink. However, we really are just so full of depth. Like we were having so much fun discussing who would make our 53-man roster because we had 90 guys that could do it in the offseason. I don't think Davenport to Josh Paschal is the biggest fall off by any means. And Houston, we know is a pass rush master, and we know that Detroit wants him to do more, but I still believe. I still believe in Houston. My brother's got his jersey. I believe.
Wow, they made Houston jersey. That's a rare one.
It is a rare one. I love when he wears it too.
Julius, Max Crosby, Hassan Reddick, Trey Hendrickson. Any of those guys really stand out to you?
All of them. I mean, I would take all the guys you just listed, but specifically hometown homeboy Max Crosby. Right across from Aiden Hutchinson, that would be everything.
So what would be the most? Let me ask you this, Nick, too, but what would be the most you would be comfortable with getting Max Crosby?
He got a pretty hefty contract that we had to take on. I'll probably say a second and a third, like a couple mid-rounders, second and a fourth.
Probably not going to get it done. All right, Nick, how much would you give up? What's the max?
Not much more than Julius. As imperative as it is to have a edge rusher opposite side of Aiden, I think with the improvement to the interior D-line, it makes it not as important as we think. Yes, to have the all-time greatest Madden team of all time, I'll take Max over all three of them. And I would give up James Houston and like a 3rd-round pick. That would be the extent of it, though. I'm not giving up a 1st-rounder for a guy who's going to take money out of either J-Mo, Gibbs, or Hutch's hands. There's no way you're going to pay Sewell, St. Brown, Goff, Hutch, Gibbs, J-Mo, Campbell, Branch, Arnold. Like with Max in there, it just doesn't work. Like I don't know, maybe it does. And if we can like Los Angeles Rams it up for 1 year, I know we would all say it's worth it because we want that Lions Super Bowl, but look where the Rams went after that Super Bowl. It was just down and out. Even right now, they had a big win against a beaten up San Fran. I'm still kind of curious on if that team even succeeds this year. I'm not willing to mortgage the future for a Super Bowl this year with Max Crosby. I'm just not. I'm not, because I think we can win 4 or 5 Super Bowls over the next decade. I truly do. Our foundation is crazy.
Oh man, you guys are gonna hate me for this because there's proof of me texting in group chats of me saying I would be willing to give up 2 firsts plus, something similar to what the Khalil Mack trade was. Raiders guy too, ironically, went to an NFC North, the Bears, and he kind of changed everything for him. It was kind of crazy. It turned their defense into something, really, really good. They just could not beat Aaron Rodgers. We don't have an Aaron Rodgers. I don't know, man. I feel like if we could not guarantee a Super Bowl, if we could, though, I think I would mortgage the next 5 years. I just think that if we could just get one, man, I just want that feeling. Just that for sure our team is too good to lose. This is it, right off into the sunset. And it would be tough with the books. There would be guys that would slowly, it'd be, well, we can't extend Branch, we have to let him walk after his rookie deal. Because these guys are going to be asking for more money. They're not staying on these rookie contracts. So I do think that plays a big role in it. But maybe we could, have him for a 1-year rental, trade him to another team or something, and just take like a second or third round hit, whatever. Crazy.
I agree with it in the sense that I just want to see a freaking Super Bowl. I do. And if Brad Holmes does it, then I'm throwing the parade, dude. I'll be like, I told you so, boys. But if I'm a GM, I'm not doing it with the way I draft. If I was Brad Holmes and the way I draft, I'd like to think I can get another edge rush. I mean, Max was drafted in what round? He wasn't a first rounder.
He was a fourth, I want to say.
Fourth rounder.
Oh man!
With our defensive line,
fourth now.
if with our defensive line, especially this year with Reeder, like I don't know, I almost believe in that Pascal and Houston can look like a Max Crosby for 1 year with our D line. I don't know. It's a tough question. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Everyone listening, put it in the comments. See what you think.
Unfortunately, it wasn't just Davenport who went down. Aleem McNeil also went down too. His looked pretty bad, but luckily he was back practicing today. Dan Campbell's ruled him as day-to-day, so that is good. We did make 2 new, I guess, call-ups, if you want to call them that. I don't know what to call. But Allen Robinson and Tim Patrick are officially on the Lions roster, which is interesting. I think this tells me that Isaiah Williams is a lot more hurt than we think. We're not completely sold on Khalif being that third target. Sam Laporta's beat up, and we need something, a change. Maybe just see where it goes temporary. If it doesn't work, then hey, go back to what we've been doing because it wasn't that bad. But Nick, let me hear your take first. Who do you think will be more impactful, Tim Patrick or Allen Robinson?
Tim Patrick. And I'll definitely agree with what you were saying on the fact that it's a lot on Khalif right now. Khalif ain't the guy I kind of thought he was about to be for whatever reason. 'Tis what it is, but we need a Josh Reynolds. We need a guy who can catch the 3 targets he's going to get a game and pretty much all of them on third down. And I need Tim Patrick to be that. I trust him more than I trust Allen Robinson. However, I trust Allen Robinson to stay healthy longer than Tim Patrick. I trust Tim Patrick when healthy more than Allen Robinson. So he's already gotten a few catches. He's shown us that he can work, and he's only going to continue to grow chemistry with Goff and with Ben Johnson and our offense. I think the wide receiver woes are a reason why we only are scoring 20 points a game right now. Like everyone thinks we should be this 40, 50 point scoring team. But if you cover up J-Mo and St. Brown and Laporte is hurt, you're not going to score 50 points dumping it down to Gibbs and Montgomery or Brock Wright. And Brock Wright's like our third leading target getter right now. So I don't know. We need Tim Patrick to step up or Allen Robinson. But to answer your question, Tim Patrick, long-winded answer.
Julius, you think I think we all kind of have a consensus on Tim Patrick, but you think Allen Robinson can do anything for this team?
Oh, no, I really haven't saw him much the last couple of seasons. I know he was starting to get old and rusty. And I remember there was a time when I actually wanted Allen Robinson to come to Detroit in free agency.
I think we all did.
I think after he left the Bears around that time, come home, help us out. We just lost Calvin. That was before the Amon-Ra St. Brown days, but he never came. He kind of floated around elsewhere. Now, I'm not sure he's much of anything other than like a backup wide receiver. He's like a backup to Tim Patrick, really. If something happens to Tim Patrick, then we got Allen Robinson right there. And it's really just like Nick said, to fill the Josh Reynolds void that is clear on this team right now.
I like it. All right. Lions win a nice bounce back win over the Cardinals. It was much needed. We looked pretty good. And most importantly, I predicted the exact correct score, which wish I would have bet on or something. Now I'm going to go bet on my next, like, $1 on all these, like, next predictions and just lose them all. But, hey, I got it once. Doesn't matter. Let's see if you guys can do it.
I still feel amazing about predicting the Kansas City-Detroit game last year, week 1. So, Adam, this will stick with you for over a year. I promise you. I'll never forget predicting the KC-Detroit score perfectly. So
that's awesome.
Kudos to you.
That's awesome. Good to hear. All right, Nick, give me some positive takeaways in this Cardinals game. There were a few, and I'm curious to see what you bring up first.
Oh, most definitely. There were a few. I had the fortune, I guess, of watching the first half on the golf course. So you take it for a grain of salt, and then listening to the second half on the radio, which was fun. I hate listening to games on the radio. Actually, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. It sucks, dude. If my phone wasn't at 2%, I would have just been streaming the game and, like, watching it as I'm driving through, like, a torrential downpour. But, whatever. I listened to it. Some big takeaways, I thought. Obviously, I don't want to just, like, take everyone's. I thought the biggest thing was way to get back to being the Detroit Lions, right? You ran the fucking ball. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs just ran all over Arizona. And that was exciting to see. And the second biggest takeaway was that Kyler Murray was not really ever, from what I saw, again, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I am, please, because I did not get to go rewatch it. But it never looked like Kyler Murray beat us with his legs. He got 48 rushing yards, I think, or 45 rushing yards. Like,
I want to get that in, like, the first 2 or 3 drives.
Is that right?
One, like, I want to say 15, 20-yard run. It was a long one, like, right off the get-go. And then, yeah, man, it disappeared. Like,
and that's what I love to see.
That wasn't doing much. It was a good game plan.
That was what our biggest worry was, in my opinion. That, and then, like, how are we going to be able to pick up where we left off running the ball? And we did both of those very, very, very well. So those are my 2 big, exciting takeaways from the game. Not to steal anyone else's.
Yeah, no, that's great. Because honestly, Justin Fields last year himself ran for about 200 yards on the Lions, which is just like, no. We cannot have that. And honestly, it probably costed us one of those that are the Bears game that we ended up losing. So, Julius, what were a couple takeaways that you noticed, like the big ones, I guess, and we'll get into some, nitty-gritty stuff.
Well, one thing I noticed is that our defense is definitely improved from last season. We already knew we had a strong run defense. That kind of carried over to this year, and I think with the addition of Reader and the emergence of Jack Campbell, it's even better this year. And with Branch at safety too, I think giving him the freedom to kind of roam right there gets him closer to the ball, which helps the run defense specifically. Another thing I noticed is that Dan Campbell, he kind of played a clean game. He played a clean Dan Campbell game. He didn't make any egregious decisions to help us lose, like the end of the first half in the second game. It was nothing like that. I think Ben Johnson called a great game. Aaron Glenn called a great game. From the head coach to the coordinators, they all did a great job. So I just want to shout out to the coaching staff for doing what they do best.
Leading Applebee's.
Yep. Straight to Applebee's. We need that part 6 of that commercial, Dan.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, honestly, I keep like wanting more and more Applebee's commercials. Whoever thought of that, the Applebee's guy, he just got every Detroit fan to be like, you know what? I want to go to Applebee's.
Dude, I ain't been to Applebee's in so long. I'd definitely go get some shrimp Parmesan steak from there. Boy, you know it, dude. Let's go.
And great marketing scheme. All right, the Lions honestly have the best run defense in the NFL. And
defense.
Yeah, like exactly. And I like it's crazy because some people still are like, oh no, James Conner, he's had great first two games were great. He's gonna die. No. Kenneth Walker, and no. It's not gonna happen unless
it's not even K9 this week, right?
No. I would honestly
Charbonnet.
Fantasy players, I would bench Kenneth Walker. He will be
It's
down.
gonna be Charbonnet.
He's out. He's out. Charbonnet.
It'll be Zach Charbonnet.
No,
yeah.
I saw Walker was practicing.
Oh, I thought I saw earlier in the week that he was already ruled out for the game.
Yeah, he's already ruled out.
That's what I thought. I saw that earlier too. But Adam, quick fact check us. But I'll
because he's had 2 great games. I would sit him.
I don't care what running back it is, dude. Did you see the tweet I posted out? We have allowed.
Both posted a tweet.
Well, the one I posted was we have allowed 17 receiving yards to the opposing running back position. Number 2 in the league is like the Bengals, and they've allowed 56 over 3 games, which isn't a lot. We've allowed 17. That is about 6 receiving yards to the opposing running backs per game. And that's what Charbonnet is really. He's a big ball catcher. So I'm still not starting him, dude. If you got Charbonnet, that's an auto sit or Kenny Walker.
The Lions literally haven't let up a 70-yard rusher. The only person that did it was Chris McCaffrey in the championship game. But no one in the regular season has done it since the Panthers, ironically, had Chuba Hubbard and Donta Foreman go for 105 and 120 yards apiece.
I remember that game. It was cold as heck in Charlotte. Yeah.
Dan Campbell took that personally, man. He was like, this is never happening again. I'm not letting it happen. And he probably told Aaron Glenn, like, nothing like this will ever happen again. And Aaron Glenn was like, all right, done and done. And look at where we are now.
Isn't it so funny that we went 70 straight games without a running back rushing for 100 yards for the Lions
every week now?
And now
it almost feels like a fantasy world that never existed.
Dude, now it's where we are not allowing a running back to rush for 70 yards for 2 years now or whatever. Like, it's crazy. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's like the Lions went from not being able to hit 100 yards to just like straight up getting 100 yards just about every week, maybe 2 running backs on some weeks, and just not allowing any team to have over 70. So
aren't we like one of the only teams ever to have like 2 running backs with 200 yards or more rushing after 3 games?
Lions PR did post some sort of stat about that. I think it was something like that. Where
I'm going to say it's the first time in NFL history that's ever happened.
The first time since I want to say the 60s. Jahmyr Gibbs scored a touchdown without a reception. How, might you ask? Ben Johnson, that's how, calling up a mastermind hook and ladder. And I'm so shocked the Chiefs didn't run this on Sunday Night Football after Andy Reid caught it off of red zone, or someone showed it to him and he was like, that's pretty cool. I'm going to use that, because I almost can guarantee you the Chiefs will be using that play. If it's Travis Kelce pitching it back to Xavier Worthy or something to Xavier Worthy, or even Rashee Weiss. All the wide receivers are fast.
Do you remember when the Chiefs did that against us? Do you remember that? So it was 2021. We were playing. It was Patricia era still. We played the Chiefs and we played them.
Oh, I do.
We ended up losing because Kerryon Johnson or someone fumbled at the goal line, and we all thought it was dead.
Yeah.
During that game, when they were down, they threw it to Travis Kelce, who then pitched it to someone, and they scored the go-ahead touchdown against us.
I want to say it was the Tyreek Hill.
Maybe it was. I can't remember, but regardless.
Yeah, I do have vague memories of that. That's jeez.
So, dude, I think we learned it from
I think that was Tyreek Hill, and he got it from Kelce. I think Kelce.
I know it's Kelce who caught and did.
Oh, it's inevitable then. I'm calling it now. Kansas City Chiefs are going to run the
I think it's the Niners that's going to steal it, because they stole our tight end play last year, and Kyle Shanahan looks at Ben Johnson like he's the GOAT, and I think the Niners steal that play. Just a prediction. Interesting.
Yeah, I definitely think we see it more though. It's such a genius play. We're in times right now where guys have the stickiest of sticky gloves. It's pretty difficult to drop a little pitch pass. It does seem like something egregious and risky, but for the Lions to just be able to have this in their back pocket, it also sets up, going to call this one now that this is going to happen 100%. Amon-Ra, J-Mo, whoever is going to do the pitch will do a fake pitch and keep going. And it's going to freeze the entire defense. And whoever has the ball is going to walk in the end zone. So
against Seattle, let's see it against Seattle.
That would be filthy. Oh, that would be so filthy.
Fake pitch for the touchdown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, fake pitch.
That would be perfect. Man. But while we're talking about special plays, let's talk about special teams. And Jack Fox winning special teams player of the week, hitting those bombs. He was looking good. And honestly, like, it helps to have a good punter. The Lions didn't have to be perfect controlling the game for the entire game, getting tons of first downs. It was like, just get a couple first downs, advance that field position. And hey, if we don't get a first down, we'll pin him inside the 20 and force him to, go the length of the field again. And eventually teams get worn out by it. And I think we did see that with Arizona come, the late stretch of the third, fourth quarter. So thoughts on Jack Fox, Julius?
It's good to see him get some recognition because I feel like he does this so many weeks for us, but, he doesn't really get the league-wide recognition, even though I do believe he's the highest paid punter. I don't know if he still is, but we do compensate him for the great work that he does. But it's great to see special teams as a core component of our team. I know Dan Campbell will be the first to say that. So I'm happy for Jack Fox, longtime Lion. Is he the longest tenure with Taylor Decker, or is it just Decker?
I think it's just Decker.
Okay, cool.
What?
Jack Fox is the second highest paid punter. Michael Dixon of Seattle is paid $100,000 more a year.
Gosh. Oh, do I say of Seattle? Oh man,
it's about to be a punter's duel Monday night.
We're going to win the game 3-0. Jack Fox is going to just be dropping dimes.
It's going to be 7-0, and Jack Fox will have the only passing touchdown of the game.
It sucks. I hope so. I'd do anything to see that happen.
No, our offense would be so. That's all we talk about is our offense not scoring a point.
We go 0 for 6 on fourth downs. The offense looks great except for fourth down. Jack Fox has one passing touchdown. That would be 1 for 6 with the passing touchdown. So
hey, Jack Fox threw a pretty fake punt.
He threw a strike to Vaki a couple weeks ago.
Right on the dime. It was pretty spiral. They trust him.
Do you guys think that was one of the most gutsy Dan Campbell calls of all time? Inside the 20, the fake punt.
I feel like we've seen that like 30 times already. So
yeah, I agree. I don't think it was that. That's the exact time you do it because no one would be like, you'd be an idiot to do it here. And Dan's like, oh,
listen, before every Lions punt, I check the punt defense to see if they're in some kind of safe. If they got the starters on the field, they land off with the linebackers. But if they're in a straight block formation, don't be surprised.
Right. I agree.
Then, boys, that 2-minute. Nick, did you see the 2-minute warning play? You know what I'm talking about?
On the radio.
Oh, man, that was insane because it was a play where, like, these guys were all, like, playing live. Like, it's not like the offensive line just kind of like stopped. And then it wasn't something where, the wide receiver stopped ready to drop. It bounced off a dude's helmet. It was like a tipped, fluky interception where whoever caught it, it was some DB that like had 3 Cardinals next to him and no one else. And it was like he walks in the end zone easily. So do you think this is like a turning point for the Lions? I know the refs have been seeming to screw us this year, but do you think like destiny, we're like, hey, the ball is bouncing our way because a lot of, fumbles in general, you just need to have good luck because the ball could bounce any which way. And if it bounces hard right and back into your dude's, hands as opposed to left into the bundle of, other team, then, it's helping out a lot. So do you think, this is any type of team of destiny momentum swing?
I'll jump in real quick and I'll say it's weird. All right. So we're used to seeing Green Bay last year get a play after the third quarter hits 0. We're used to Lamar Jackson not calling a hike before the play clock runs out for 1, 2, 3 seconds, and then he finally gets the playoff, and they end up hitting a 66-yarder. We've seen these plays. We've seen the fake or the phantom face masks. Like everything always just even when we get one in our favor, there's 14 that come after that is just terrible. It's weird watching Lions games right now when we're on the good end of that. And do I think that's destiny? All I'll say is teams that win it all in the NFL do so by a lot of talent and a lot of skill, but there is absolutely a little luck that falls into your favor. It just is. And that's not the refs purposely calling plays for you or against you or anything like that. They're doing the best they can, and we complain about them a lot, but honestly, they're doing the best that they can for 60-year-old accountants. And I just think it's weird when things start to change into our favor. I'm not going to call it destiny, but I'm going to acknowledge that something in the air is a little different than it has been for the last 33 years of my life. So that's my answer.
Julius, I got a different question for you. Do you think we'll see another something like this happening to the Lions where they catch a break where it's like, I don't know, Goff throws an interception and they go, oh, Dan Campbell called a timeout or something just like that. Maybe that doesn't necessarily involve the refs or, literally what happened to us in the 49ers game. Bounces off the cornerback's face mask, you get a touchdown, and now, you're back in the game. So do you think we'll see something like that?
I think we will see something like that because we're in an era now that is different for Lions fans. We're the hunted team a lot of these games. Like against Arizona, they were trying to prove themselves against us. Against even Tampa, who we beat, their playoff team, they were trying to prove their best against us. And anytime it's that way, if you go back and look at all the Super Bowl winners every year or the conference championship winners, if you look at their season, they had a couple of these moments in their season. Guarantee every last one of them had a couple of these moments where they were like, oh, wow, the better team got the edge or got the lucky pick or the lucky draw right there. That's not fair. They're going to be complaining about the refs, complaining about the NFL, just like we did for so many years when we were trying to prove ourselves. So I just think this is a new profound era for Lions fans and Lions period. And I love it. I love every time it happens. All the luck. I'm what you say. I'm the loudest one when it happens to us though. All those years, but I'm a hypocrite now, and I understand.
It's a great quote, really. There really is a great quote, and it says, "Luck favors the prepared." And most time as fans, we watch games and we're like, lucky, dude, I can't believe this. They're so lucky. The refs called this. The ball dropped this way, blah, 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 blah. But that's because for 30 years, the Lions haven't been prepared for anything. Nothing. And now we're finally prepared to the most minute detail. That's when luck starts to head your way. And we look at it as like, no, destiny, right? Tides are changing. No. I think it's just that we're the most prepared now. It's crazy. Dan Campbell is not just a freaking weightlifter, motivational speaker. Dan Campbell's the real motherfucking deal. And I think our luck, like the luck turning to us, proves that. Not proving that Brad Holmes is a great GM or anything of that. No, it's Dan Campbell's coaching, head coaching. And it trickles down to each coordinator, to each position coach, to each water boy, to each personal trainer, to each water towel or each towel guy. It's crazy. Luck favors the prepared. And we are the most prepared week in and week out, in my opinion.
Oh, God. Preach. Love that. That's so true. All right, let's get into our little game recap because we've been kind of recapping it, but we'll get to
We lost Julius right on that. Oh, we back.
All right, Nick, lead us away. Who won the MVP's offense, defense, And who came in second between you guys?
Recap between you guys. Screw you, Adam. All right, so we have been doing this weekly. We are picking who's going to win the game, what the correct score will be, who will be our offensive MVP, and it must be chosen between the three that we pick, even if it's someone else. We got to pick between us three, and then who the defensive MVP is. Going into last week, Adam was in last place with 2 points, Julius with 3, and me with 4. And it would have been a full-on tie heading into this week. However, one of us, predicted an exact score. It was already mentioned. It's this way. That's Adam. I can never point the right way. Adam predicted the right score. He guessed 20-13, Lions, spot on. He also had the first pick, so got first pick choice of Aiden Hutchinson.
What's hilarious about that, I don't know if you guys remember, Julius goes, you know what, Adam, that's what I was going to pick, man. And then he goes, you know what, I was going to pick Jahmyr Gibbs and Hutchinson. You stole my whole bit. And then lo and behold.
Hutch is always going to be the first pick, I feel, in here because it's so easy to win MVP by getting a sack. Really, the only thing I can beat you is like a 15, 20 sack or 20 tackle game by someone like a linebacker we choose, or a pick, like a big pick can really. I think a pick would be more important than a sack. But
turnover, yeah.
If you're picking one, you're picking Hutch most of the time, and Adam got it right by picking Hutch. He had a huge sack late in that game. That was nice. He's got 6.5 on the season over 3 games, which is incredible. Let's keep it up. He did pick Gibbs, which did not win offensive MVP. Julius was able to win that with an Amon-Ra St. Brown choosing. We all got a point for the Lions. Ultimately, me and Julius sit at 5 points. Adam sits at 6 points heading into week 4. Julius gets to pick first. I just decided that. I didn't really know. But, Julius, you're picking first. Oh, wait, no. Are we doing our predictions right now? No, that was just a recap. Or are we predicting right now?
That was recap. We'll get to
teaser. We'll get to it.
Just a little teaser. Love it. All right, we got Monday Night Football, boys. This is going to be a fun one. I kind of just figured out that we're in a doubleheader, which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I want everyone watching us. I do feel like we are at the obvious better game. I think whoever plays, I want to say it's Titans and Dolphins, who Dolphins without Tua right now have been kind of bad for that one game and half, I guess. But Nick, what are some of your thoughts on playing in that second Monday Night Football game, or just, back on Monday Night Football against the Seahawks?
Well, I'm glad you brought up what you did bring up, because I kind of have a conspiracy that I was talking to my wife about on Monday night this week, and she was not caring at all. She was like, I don't care about this, Nick. Please do not talk to me about it. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. That's very fair. Let me tell my podcast friends. So if you watch NFL right now, it is presented by YouTube TV. Do either of you guys have YouTube TV by chance?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have YouTube TV, you'll notice you can watch these split screen, which is kind of cool. Having a split screen, it's kind of cool. But my theory is that they're only doing these multiple Monday night games so that people will go to YouTube, because if you have Xfinity or DirecTV or Dish, you do not have split screen. So you make the transition over to YouTube TV, which is cheaper than cable in general, has all the same functions, DVR, all that stuff, but it also has split screen. So you can just watch both of them. Now, the way they do their split screen isn't just up and down the middle, right? It is like these little boxes on each side, which is really annoying. So I don't watch the split screen. I just go to a game, and then I forget about it because I'm on my phone, and I was like watching Jacksonville lose by 30 instead of watching Washington go win the game. And I was like, oh, yeah, there's another football game on. Whoops, that one's on me. And I obviously won't be watching split screen for the Lions game. But for people out of network, I think this is why they're doing it. And they're going to start doing this more to push more people into YouTube TV, which then allows you to do this split screen. It's all conspiracy, but my tinfoil hat is on, dude. I'm thinking that there is something connecting between YouTube TV's split screen view and these Monday night games. Because we used to do the doubleheader Monday nights, but it was 7 and 10, not 7:45 and 8:15, which is this dumbest thing in the entire world. I hate it. It's stupid. I love the Lions that are on Monday night. I love the Lions are on Monday night. I don't want everyone to watch us. I don't care about that. I want to be on the 1 o'clock game every time, just like Dan Campbell. So if people want to watch Tennessee versus Miami, more freaking power to you, dude. I feel like most people will be watching Detroit And I'm glad we're on Monday night in a sense that our crowd is going to be electric. A Monday night game brings a different kind of crowd, a drinking crowd, a more rowdier crowd. I just got tickets to go to the Packers-Lions game Thursday night, and I am going to be freaking louder than ever. And it's just the same thing with Monday night. People get to be stoked all day. They're drunk. They're screaming. So I love that we're on Monday night for that reason. I don't care about people watching stuff. Long-winded.
Julius, Monday Night Football, we're rocking the black jerseys. What are some of your thoughts?
I can't wait to see them. I hope we play well in them. I hope they kind of take kind of blueberry, how we feel about our blueberries, kind of they're our go-to uniform. I hope we can add that along with the blueberries, add the blackberries, as I like to call them right now. If we win, they're the new blackberries. We got the blues and the blacks, don't matter which, back and forth, the blue and black division. And I just hope they play well in them. If they don't play well in them, they could throw them in the trash, never to be seen again, like the other old black jerseys we used to have back in the Calvin days.
So my theory as of now is they haven't announced what pants we'll be wearing. It's just the jerseys, helmet. And I want us to wear black pants. I want it to be all black. They said they've announced already that there's 2 combinations to it. You can wear the black and the blue or the black and black. So I think we need to wear the black and the black based off of one thing and one thing only. Lions, week 1, blueberries. They win. Week 2, we wear the blue and white combo. We lose. Week 3, back to all white. We win. It's the solid colors, boys. We need to be a solid color team. Just got to go one color. Doesn't matter if it's silver. Doesn't matter if it's gray, black, white, blue, whatever. Just the Lions need to be in the black on black. Nick, I see you're looking up some stuff.
I was.
Anything pertaining to these black jerseys?
It was more so. I was trying to find a rule. I'm reading the rule book right now. So if you want to know, I would share my screen, but I won't. But I am reading the rule book. And what I'm trying to find is, listen to this conspiracy. Let's paint our end zones black and paint everything black, and then just have a blue outline for the Lions, for the word Lions, just Lions.
Look how it looks on the jersey.
And then the numbers, though, how your numbers are blue, the numbers are black, and it's just a blue outline. The whole end zone is black with this most minuscule blue outline for the word Lions, and then all black unis.
That would be so cool.
That would be sweet, and you couldn't see us in the end zone, dude. No one would be able to know what's going on, dude. We'd all be like, what's happening, dude? He threw it to no one. Wait, there's 3 Lions right there. I couldn't even tell, dude. Like,
that is the perfect conspiracy theory for that. Not really a conspiracy theory, but hopeful theory. Yeah, good idea, I guess, if you want to call it that. The Lions now finally don't have to deal with Pete Carroll anymore, which I do believe was the X factor in like the last 5, 6, however many times we've been losing to Seattle. It's, I want to say 6 in a row, 11 out of the last 12 maybe. But Pete Carroll either has lost once or not at all to the Lions. He owns Detroit, now gone, obviously. But they did get Mike Macdonald, defensive coordinator for the Ravens, who kind of gave us hell last year. So, you know, you could go whichever route. But Mike McDonald, I do think he's a solid coach. Hasn't really faced any elite teams yet. He won against Bo Nix, Jacoby Brissett, and there was one other bad team I can't think of. Will Levis, maybe? I don't know. Regardless, I'm not as high on the Seahawks as I was last year. I know they're 3-0. I think this lines up to be a perfect trap game for them to just lose, just to look flat, not be a 3-0 team, because this happens every year. We see a few teams that start out 4-1, 3-0, 3-2 even, and just look good, but then just slowly start to, regress. I do think that's not going to happen just to the Seahawks, but to the Vikings too. So both those teams, I don't know how they're both 3-0. I kind of understand the Seahawks, but the Vikings, I don't know. I'm not a big Sam Darnold believer. Go to my Twitter if you want to see my tweet. But regardless, Mike Macdonald, Julius, I know you're a Michigan guy. I know we love him. Helped us get to where we, were last year. But do you think he's going to be a threat to the Lions?
Yeah, I think he's a really good defensive coach, and I think Seattle's defense is what's carried them to this 3-0 start. Even though they've had some explosive plays with Metcalf, Smith-Njigba, and Tyler Lockett, who's still old and still churning. And Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, the last couple times we done played them with Geno Smith, has been lion killers. They've really done damage. This is like a revenge game for us. So I think Mike McDonald is a pretty good coach to have following the Pete Carroll era. And Seattle is a fringe playoff team that can definitely beat us. So it's definitely a test, and it's definitely a good Monday night matchup.
All right. So Julius is a little more high on the Birds than myself, but we did just beat one Bird. So maybe we just own the Birds. Lions eat birds, baby. Nick, what are some of your thoughts? You think who do you think is going to be the X factor for the Seahawks?
Ooh, I'm going to answer that question, but first I'm just going to talk about the Seahawks and Lions history. We haven't won a game against the Seahawks since 2012, where Titus Young scored the winning touchdown with 20 seconds to go from Stafford, an amazing fourth quarter comeback to beat them. After that, we have lost consecutively 6 times in a row, which includes a 51-29 loss at the end of the 2022 season, a 48-45 loss, or I'm sorry, at the end of the 21 season, a 48-45 loss at the beginning of the 22 season, and then last year's 37-31 overtime loss. It is interesting how for Detroit, this is like one of the biggest rivalries. For Seattle, they're like, who? We don't know you. But for us, we're like, you beat us every year in like the games that we should be winning, that our fans are the utmost excited for, which does scare me a little bit for this game. But I agree with you, Adam, that Pete Carroll was a lot more of the X factor than any of the players. To answer your question, who is going to be the X factor for us? Or like, is that what you're saying? Is that what you said? Right?
The first Seattle, who do you think we gotta like? Who do you think is gonna be their best? You know, the guy that gives us help.
So we have allowed 609 receiving yards to opposing wide receivers. That is not just all around receiving yards against us. This is opposing wide receivers have totaled 609 receiving yards against us through 3 games. That is 4th worst in the NFL. Okay. DK Metcalf has blown up the last 2 games. He is back. He's here. Geno's like, I don't know where he is, but he's down there somewhere. And he just chucks it. And DK be making them catches. I'm a little nervous because we saw Stafford dink and dunk on us. We saw Baker just exploit us with Chris Godwin. And we saw a little bit of Marv early in the game last week that really kind of scared me. Obviously, we settled in and we kind of calmed everything down. However, that is the big X factor for Seattle, is DK Metcalf. Not Smith-Njigba, in my opinion, out of the slot where you're going to have like probably Branch or Campbell following him. It's going to be scary. Lockett's probably going to have Terrion with him. That's going to be scary because Terrion likes to get handsy, and Lockett is a big veteran, and Lockett is the one that burnt who was seatbelt last year? Jerry Jacobs, which ultimately led to Jacobs blocking us because all we did was tweet out his numbers from that game, which were like 12 receptions against, 200 yards against, and 3 touchdowns. Lockett killed us. All of that I'm not too worried about. It is Carlton Davis on DK Metcalf. But the best thing about that is we just got to double him. And we have the best safety in the NFL right now, Kirby Joseph, with a 0.0 passer rating against him through 3 games. Just have him and Carlton on DK and let Lockett and Smith-Njigba beat us. Because that's what you're going to have to do. Because if you don't, then DK will beat you. So you're just going to have to hope that our defense is a bend don't break against this offense and that we can stop Lockett and Smith-Njigba because DK is their X factor, buddy.
Yeah, I agree. Julius, you think anyone other than DK is going to, give us some serious problems? I know their defense has looked decent, but outside of DK, you think maybe Geno turns back the clock a bit? He did look decent against us last year.
It's definitely possible. Geno has a great game, but let me tell you, the Seahawks' Achilles heel is their offensive line. Mm-hmm. If we can put adequate pressure on Geno Smith that won't give him time to just chuck it up to DK. And they have to get some kind of run game established, which we've noted the Lions have the best run defense in the NFL right now by a country mile, especially when it comes to giving up receiving yards as well. All we have to do is get to Geno Smith, and we could shut this Seattle offense down. Pass rush is imperative. But I really can't pick a player for Seattle. One of the receivers, one of the running backs, Geno Smith, they got good skill position players. Any of them could kill us if we don't get the right pass rush on Geno.
I agree, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting flashbacks of last year where I'm trying to find this to see if they had anyone ruled out. But I feel like their offensive line was beat up last year too. And we went into this game thinking like, oh, Hutch is going to eat. We're going to blow them out. This is going to be so easy. And then we lost. I will say, I think Goff did throw a pick 6 in this game. It might have been this game or the last Seattle.
He threw a pick 6, and you're right. They dinked and dunked us. They were down both their starting tackles. And I think we got no sacks.
Hold on. I'm sure Nick's looking it up too.
Nope, I'm looking something way different up.
Yeah, Geno diced us. Yeah, Goff did throw the pick 6. Yeah, that was just so brutal. If he doesn't even throw the pick 6, we don't even need overtime. We win the game outright. So yeah, Hutch, I do think, is a different beast this year, especially from the beginning of last year. He's a completely different, now he is kind of like a defensive player of the year candidate. Will be until, he plays a season not healthy. So Hutch, I do think, will be more impactful. But I don't know. Nick, let's dive into some.
It's such a sick drop.
Predictions.
Before we get to predictions, can I just talk about one other key player that we're going to have to keep intact for Seattle? And that is edge rusher Boye Mafe, who I got to see live and close at the Senior Bowl and knew he would be a star. And I believe he went late first round or early second round. He currently has 3 sacks on the season, which when you talk about Aiden Hutchinson doesn't seem like that much, but it's a lot. And he also is he is, tied for 9th in the NFL with 6 quarterback hits. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson has 11 and leads the league. But I'm just saying, we have great tackles and all this. The big guy you want to pay attention to for the Seahawks defense is going to be Boye Mafe. Boye Mafe is very, 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 very good. Very good. He is very good. And it is going to take a lot to keep him out of the backfield rep after rep after rep after rep. So, guys, just keep in mind, Boye Mafe, when we're watching the game on Monday night, when we see him beat up on our offensive line, we're going to be like, all right, we need to be hitting him with Laporta or Gibbs or Wright. We need to have 2 people kind of giving him a knock real quick. But anyways, are we going? What are we doing? Are we doing these predictions or what are we predicting?
Yeah, the MVPs.
All right, Julius is first. Julius is first. Who wins, Julius?
The Lions win and get revenge and win for the first time since 2012. Hoorah.
12 years.
I'm going to go Lions. I think this is the first offensive explosion game for the Lions. Led by their run game, I'm going to go Lions 38. Seattle 30.
Woo! That would be a fun game to watch. I'd hate it, but that'd be fun. Offensive MVP, defensive MVP.
Offensive MVP, I'm going to give it to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay.
I think part of that explosion, part of that 38-point explosion is on his shoulders. I believe he has a multi-touchdown game. And defensive player to MVP of this week, I'm going to give to defensive player of the year, front runner Aiden Hutchinson.
Smart. I'm second because Adam has the lead right now. I'm also going to take the Lions. I'll take the Lions 21-20. And I'm going to go defense first, and I'm taking Kirby. And Kirby's going to pick off of one of those throws to DK, and that'll get me it. And on offense, with Ragnow out, I don't know if it's as much running as we think it's going to be. If it is, it will be Gibbs over Monty for sure, in my opinion. But I'm going to go to the receiving game, and I'm going to take our boy ASB. Oh, wait. Hold on. Do I get to change? Can I change?
Sure. But if it's my guy, I'd be so mad.
You can have ASB if you want. I'm going to take Goff.
I knew it! Damn it! Oh, you guys! Oh! Happens every time, man. Oh, gosh.
On to Adam.
The downfalls of being the best last week.
Who's your defense, Nick?
Kirby.
That's why I was literally going Kirby Goff.
Me too.
Oh, man, that sucks. All right, I'm going to go 27-20. I think we're going to see a similar type situation where it comes down to the last touchdown drive. I think it'll be close. But I want to say, it's tough because we got guys banged out. Because I want to go with Aline, but he's beat up. I'm going to go with Branch. I'm sticking with Branch.
He's playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 100% playing. He was in concussion protocol.
He was.
Which, by the way, what did I talk about yesterday or last week? Wear the freaking caps, Branch, Anzalone, anyone, dude. Just wear the freaking caps. Protect yourself, dude. As soon as Branch got that hit, that's the first thing I thought of. First thing I thought of was like, I wonder if that
would have been practice today. So because he was practicing, I assume he plays.
Okay.
Now, if he does not play, can I?
No. You get one choice. You pick. You better fucking play if you pick him. You know. You don't get
I'm pivoting. I'm gonna go to a guy that's going to play. That's going to shush the haters because there are some. Carlton Davis. He has been. A lot of people have started picking on him, and he hasn't looked the best. But I want to say I saw some stat of some man-to-man coverage stat where he was like 15th out of all like defensive back snaps. So Carlton Davis, I agree, Justin. I think he's going to play better this game. I think he's going to look solid. I think we are going to also give him help with Kirby Joseph over the top. But just as Kirby's going to go pick it, you're going to see Carlton Davis jump right in front of the ball and intercept it. So Carlton Davis is my defensive MVP. Offensive MVP was going to be Jared Goff. I was going to do a little ha. If Amon-Ra gets a touchdown, so will Goff. Ha. But now we can't. So, man. Goff and Gibbs are gone. My two favorite G-name guys.
Also, while you're thinking, you have the Lions winning, right? You said 27-20, but never
27-20, yes. Lions winning. Yeah.
Just making sure.
Always.
Just making sure.
Man, this is tough. Take a long time too, but I think I'm gonna go back to JMO. I think he's had a rush every single game. I think one of these little run plays, end arounds is gonna hit for him, and he's also gonna have a receiving touchdown. So a 2-touchdown game for JMO. I think he comes back to form, looking like he was that week 1. It has slowly started to, the yards have trended down. The production's still kind of been there, except for last week-ish. But we didn't really need him, different script. So I do think we are going to need him this week. I think it is going to be a bit of a shootout, 27-20, JMO and Carlton Davis. And as always, go Lions!